Hello and good morning from here in Cambridge at the fourth day of the New Zealand Track National Championships. We're here at the Grassroots Trust Velodrome with another very busy day ahead. Throughout this morning we'll be seeing a mixture of endurance and sprint events in the under 17 and under 15 categories. First up, 500 metres TTs for our under 17s, followed by under 15 scratch races and then under 17 Madison finals. Busy morning ahead. This morning joining me in the commentary booth we have Ross Machevsky, our elite women's endurance coach. How are we doing this morning, Ross?
Yeah, good, thanks, Cullen. Thanks for having me along.
No worries, good to have you here. So, first up we might as well talk about Bryony Botha's 3,000 metre IP yesterday, obviously beating the record, her previous record of 3:24.2, improving that to a 3:21.506. Big ride from B yesterday.
Yeah, it was awesome actually. B, she sort of this year after the Olympics last year, she set herself a goal of really trying to knock some seconds off her IP time, and obviously the first thing to go was that long-standing record from Sarah Ulmer, a month or so ago. And once she's done that, she's sort of aiming for the 3:20 at some stage would be awesome. And it was nice to see a big knock to that.
Yeah, as I understand it, she's knocked 6 seconds so far off her PB within the last, 6 months to a year?
I think 26 she'd done at the Worlds a year or so back. Yep. So it's nice progress.
Awesome to see market improvement there. So just on screen now, we're seeing them setting up the gate for the under 17 girls 500 metre time trial. This will be a straight final. Should be an interesting one. We've got some strong riders. Under 17 girls have had a busy schedule, but we've also seen some really tight sprints from them yesterday as well. So going to be very interesting. Here on screen, we see Erin Green of Tasman. Strong result from her yesterday in the points race, I believe.
Yeah, nice to see the depth in the under 17 girls. You've got 9 heats here, which is pretty outstanding, I thought.
Yes, saw some real depth yesterday in the sprint finals.
Erin being put on the gate by Nelson's Jace Craig. Good to see Jace making the trip up here. And doing 50 k's a day, I believe, at the moment around the competition. So yeah, good to see Jace here.
So just into the final countdown now for Erin, 20 seconds remaining. And our first rider of the day is away. Erin Green off to a good start out of the gate there. Just starting to wind it up into the first bend.
Yeah, really clean start. Should be happy with that.
Just settling in down towards the back straight now into turn 3 and 4. Really settling into her work as she comes through for her first lap in a 21.73.
She looks to have that gear, be well on top of that gear. She's spinning it out. Obviously the restricted gears at this age, but she's making light work of it.
Yeah, good leg speed down the back straight there. Just coming through turn 4. She's going to set a time here in a second. 39.218. Great start to the day. Well done, Erin.
Yeah, anytime you see under 40 seconds goes from under 17, that's cool, and especially these riders from regions without indoor tracks, when they get used to having to do their stuff on a concrete or sometimes asphalt track, and they come here and jump on the boards and to go under 40 seconds when they don't often get gates to use and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Exactly, really cool to see a really clean, fast start there from Erin as well. Obviously adjusting well to the gates up here.
Who we got next here, Cullen?
Next up, we have Geraldine Leaf on screen from Northland. Good to see some representation from up north. On the opposite side of the track, we're looking at Lucy Griffin of Southland. Sorry, that's not correct. Wellington, Michaela Perry.
So you got the two ends of the North Island battle going on here.
Absolutely.
And talking about Northland before, I don't think they've got a track at all. So, that's pretty cool to see someone coming from Northland. And Wellington, of course, newly resurfaced track at High Tai Tai.
Absolutely. Look here for a fast start from the Northland rider if she can get the gate start right. She'll have been doing starts on the road, I believe, if she hasn't got a track up north. Strong riders from up in Wellington as well, having to combat that wind. Look for a fast time here from Michaela as well. .30 seconds remaining.
Clean starts. Very nice start over on the back straight.
Looks like Michaela just slightly getting away quicker there than Geraldine.
You see them both still out of the saddle, winding it up down the back straight and just plonked down now, just past the halfway line.
Slight advantage there for Michaela through half a lap, coming through for their first lap completed.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one, I think.
Geraldine just slightly edging her out by 100th of a second there.
Geraldine's really got that gear wound up now. She sort of maybe had a slight slower start, but she's really bringing it home.
Yeah, really driving this down through turn 4 and onto the final straight. Comes home in a 41.472. Looking like Erin Green's time, just standing up there to her first 2 challenges.
Yeah, and Michaela Perry of 42.893. So, yeah, really good to see Wellington. And we've got another Wellington girl in this next heat as well with Millie Donald on the front straight. And Lucy Griffin from Southland on the back straight. So, yeah, good to see a contingent from Wellington here.
Absolutely, starting to build a strong program down there, especially on the sprint side of things.
Yeah, they've got a few guys down there that have, really built their program down there. Chris Watts has done a lot for their program and developing the youngsters, and Lee Evans in the former years, I think he's basically the patron of their club. But good to see some, those guys, putting back and getting some youngsters onto it and coming up here.
Absolutely, and did you say their track down there has recently been resealed as well?
Yeah, the old High Tai Tai velodrome, which has been around for years, and it was looking pretty lumpy, and you just about used to have to jump the potholes for a while, but now they've given it a lick of asphalt, and I think that's helped attract a few more youngsters into it as well.
Awesome, and those pre-existing juniors, probably pretty good bike handlers as well, I imagine then.
Yeah, exactly.
Just looking at 30 seconds remaining.
So you got the back straight over there from Southland, Lucy Griffin. Front straight, Millie Donald with the big pink socks. Way cleanly. Nice start by the front straight, just down in front of us here.
Really close again there. Looks like Lucy may be getting away quicker. Let's see how they're going into half a lap. Lucy with a slight advantage there over Millie Donald. Good for second and third fastest so far. Coming through for completion of the first lap. Lucy up.
She's flying.
Really going well here. Comes through for half a lap to go. Lucy sitting in second fastest so far. Can she best Erin Green's time? 40.129. Erin Green time just standing. Millie Donald comes home in a 43.123. So that's good enough for second and fifth fastest overall.
Yeah, nice time by Lucy Griffin, just outside that 40 seconds that I talked about before. And, obviously from Southland, they're lucky enough to have an indoor velodrome down there. So, and she looks like she makes good use of it. Look very tidy, clean, and yeah, really solid time.
Exactly. Got out of the gate really nicely there and drove that first half of lap really, really nicely. Just fading a little bit there towards the end maybe, but great signs from Lucy there.
So we got one of the home riders on screen at the moment from Waikato Bay Plenty.
Looks to be Kaylin Gray, and on the back straight, just getting onto her bike now. Sorry. Just on the back straight there is Zadie Scott of Southland. Starting to get, well, close to the midpoint through our heats now, so maybe start to watch those times drop below the 40-second barrier again. Erin Green's opening time, though, still really fast, over nearly 1 second clear of her nearest competitor currently. Looking at 20 seconds remaining.
Great start from both riders.
Yeah, both riders obviously from centres that have indoor tracks. Looking really strong out of the gate, nice and smooth. This could be a close one by the looks of this.
Southland rider got the edge through the half a lap.
Good for second and fourth fastest so far. Zadie Scott just leading over Kaylin Gray slightly. First lap in a 21.995 for Zadie Scott and 22.4 for Kaylin Gray.
Second place, this will be interesting going down. Oh, they're close.
Only about 0.2 of a second separating them currently. Zadie just leading over Kaylin. Gonna hit the line here.
Oh.
2 sub 40 seconds here with Kaylin Gray just edging out Zadie Scott there. 39.584 and Zadie Scott in a 39.860.
She really came from behind in that last lap. I think the Southland rider was up, and Kaylin Gray really just came through in that last half a lap and just pipped her on the line.
Absolutely, finished really strongly there. Looked like Zadie Scott had that one dialed. She had led all first 3 splits and just got edged out there at the end by Kaylin Gray. So strong finish there. Good ride there from both riders, but Erin Green's time, 39.218. Strong, still leads so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome performance first up to really set the bar and give these others something to chase. So on screen now we've got another Waikato Bay Plenty rider, Piper Russell, and just getting into the gate there with Damo Payne giving her a pat on the back. And on the back straight from West Coast North Island, Kenzie Compton.
Yeah, Piper Russell definitely had some strong performances over the last few days. 4th fastest qualifier in our flying 200 yesterday, so be interesting to see how she goes. $20 seconds.
Beautiful start on the front straight. Piper Russell got out of the gate really well. Looks like Kenzie's away strongly as well, cleanly.
Coming through lap 1, looks like Piper Russell just slightly up. Good for the 5th and 6th fastest time so far. Look for them to really wind it up here in 1 lap to go. Piper Russell, 22.39, and Kenzie Compton just about half a second back.
It looks like Piper's getting into her work now, moving up to the 3rd place. Can she challenge the sub 40 mark? Let's wait and see. She's nearly there.
Hits the line, 39.350, followed by Kenzie Compton in a 41.009.
Good enough for 2nd place at this stage, Piper Russell. So she really climbed through there, didn't she? Started off at 6th in the first split, and every half lap just nudged it up and up.
Exactly. I think we saw her in the first split in 5th, and then 4th in the 2nd split, 3rd in the 3rd split, and then 2nd over the line as well. So really strong ride progressing through there. Interesting to note, Erin Green was only good enough for, I think, 7th in our flying 200, but showing that she's a really strong 500-metre rider here. Maybe has just been doing a lot of work on her gate starts despite being from Tasman.
Yeah, it is a little bit different. You know, you've got the track to get used to as well. You know, the track Tasman is not the same with the same banking as here, so you know perhaps hasn't quite worked out how to use it to her advantage in the flying 200. But you know, obviously does a lot of grunty strength stuff in the starts, and that's come through.
Exactly. We saw her in her second half of her last lap, really driving it down the back straight into turn 3 and 4. So just really good signs there. So just looking here at Millie Wright on the front straight of Waikato Bay of Plenty, followed by Kirsty Watts of Canterbury on the back straight. Both riders looking good with 25 seconds to go.
Lots of clean starts so far. No one's got stuck in the gate. Everyone's got out nice and straight. It's good to see at this age. Yeah,
exactly. Showing really good technical skills at under 17 level. It's really good to see.
Another good start from Millie on the front straight here, and Kirsty's away cleanly on the back as well.
Driving through, hitting the half lap mark. Millie Wright just up on Kirsty Watts. Good for 5th and 8th so far, so look for a build from both of these riders.
Yeah, Millie coming in through in 3rd now.
22.0 and a 22.9 for Millie Wright and Kirsty Watts respectively. Half a lap to go coming up now.
Great pedalling style by Millie, still and fast.
Millie up to 2nd at the half a lap to go there. Let's see how she finishes.
Ooh,
New
she
first
got it.
fastest, 39.052, almost breaking that 39 barrier, and Kirsty Watts back in a 41.72.
Yeah, that's a handy time as well by Kirsty. Yeah, Millie really, I think that, you know, she was so still on the bike and aerodynamic, and I think that really helped her in that last lap. You know, started off sort of 5th and 3rd, and then, yeah, brought it home and nearly dipped under the 39. Fantastic ride.
Yeah, really fast, just clean, and looked really good all the way through that ride. Got away well and then settled into her work and brought it home strong. So just looking now to our next riders, we have Hannah Payne of Waikato Bay of Plenty on the front straight, just walking up to mount her bike. And then Michaela McDonald of Tasman on the back straight. Some strong rides in the sprint finals. Good enough to take the bronze medal. Went down one ride early on and then came back strongly to take the second 2 rides, or the second and the 3rd ride, in really close lunges. So look for strong rides from both of these riders.
Good to see another Tasman contingent here with Michaela on the back straight. Obviously her teammate had the lead for a while, just been pipped. Let's see what she can do.
Just looking at 15 seconds to go here.
Way cleanly again. That's a really nice start. Hannah Payne on the front straight. Winding up through the bends, both riders. Hannah definitely with the edge and faster so far through the first split.
Yeah, really fast start there from Hannah. Let's see how she hangs on to it. First lap in, still first
Looking
fastest.
good, nice time. 21.2 and 21.8 on the back straight. Both on 22, that's great.
Hit the line with half a lap to go, still sitting in first and second fastest. Let's see how they bring it home. It's going to be close.
Excellent.
Hannah Payne just edges out Michaela McDonald in 31.328 and a 38.752. So both riders breaking that 39 barrier there significantly as well.
Yeah, awesome rides there. 38.3 and 38.7 as first and second spots at the moment. So obviously these rides are seeded, and apart from the first one, they're sort of getting slowly faster and faster. And Erin just threw a wee cat amongst the pigeons to start us off.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just showing that seeding isn't always reflective of how strong the riders are. And good to see that Erin's really strong, perhaps being a little bit unlucky with her 200 the other day. Also just showing her endurance strength as well, really holding it together through the last kind of 100, 150 metres in her 500.
Riley Faulkner on the front straight from Southland here, just getting that bike in the gate. She's looking composed. Lance Spencer getting her sorted.
Last minute shrug of the shoulders for Jodie Blackwood there of Auckland. Winner of our under 17 girls sprints yesterday. Going to be interesting to see how she gets away. Just for reference, our record in the 500 metres under 17 girls time trial is 36.270, set by Jenna Borthwick in the 2019 Track Nationals.
Yeah, that's rocking, eh?
Yeah, that is really going. Look to see these riders try to challenge that marker, see if they can break the 38 barrier here. 15 seconds to go.
More clean starts, away cleanly on the front straight. Riley Faulkner, Jodie Blackwood on the back. Really ripping through the bends now.
Yeah, looks like Riley really out to a ripper of a start there. First fastest so far, followed by Jodie and fourth fastest. Let's see how they go coming into one lap.
Yeah, through the first lap, first so far 20.7. She's broken the 21. Riley Faulkner looking to go best here. Can she hold on? It's very close. Oh, that's just flipped already. Jodie Blackwood coming home strong.
See how they go.
Oh, great time.
Both riders breaking the 38 barrier there. Jodie Blackwood 37.137 and Riley Faulkner on a 37.817. That's really fast.
Excellent work, yeah. Sort of contrasting, wasn't it? Riley got away fast, but then Jodie, once she was up to speed, really just powered it home to finish.
Yeah, Jodie really showing her class there, showing her strength. She got away maybe a little bit slowly out of that gate, but really, like, in that final lap, drove it home. Really good leg speed, really smooth on the bike.
Yeah, looks like the last heat now already. So we've got Caitlin Kelly on the front straight. You've probably seen a lot of her this week. She's really dominated proceedings in this age group, especially sort of the sprint events.
Yes, our second fastest qualifier behind Meg Baker in the Flying 200. So that's really good to see. I also believe she went up against our Tasman rider, Michaela McDonald, who just edged her out for that bronze medal. So look to see fast times here. And Meg Baker, of course, on the back straight there of Canterbury. Our two fastest qualifiers from the Flying 200. So
yeah, looking forward to this one. Yeah, I can't call this one. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard a lot about these girls coming through in the under 17 ranks, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how they execute.
Absolutely, barely 0.1 of a second separating them in their Flying 200. So let's see how that goes over the 500 here. 20 seconds to go.
Nice starts.
Big pull away from the line there from both riders, both looking to get away quickly and capitalise.
As they come through the half, it's Caitlin Kelly just over Meg Baker.
Looking really good here at one lap.
Caitlin Kelly still just got the edge. Second qualifier so far, so they're both going to have to bring it home if they want to get on that podium.
Yeah, if they want to challenge Jodie Blackwood here, they're really going to have to go hard. Sitting in third and fourth fastest at the moment. Let's see how they finish. Oh, that's tight. Caitlin Kelly coming home second fastest ahead of Meg Baker. 37.269 for Caitlin and a 37.578 for Meg Baker. So they will round out your top three with Jodie Blackwood taking the win there in a 37.137. Really fast times. Just seeing our finishes there. Jodie Blackwood obviously 37.137. Perhaps with a faster time, Jenna Borthwick's time could have been in trouble there. Obviously a bit of a margin, but still only talking less than a second.
Yeah, nice to see a group there in the 37s. I think that's cool, and obviously, yeah, a lot of girls who are close and will battle each other for years to come, hopefully.
Yeah. just under 17 girls cycling in really good hands there. So just seeing the gates being set up again. Next up we have the under 17 boys 500 metre time trial. Obviously this is a straight final as well. On the front straight we're just looking at Cooper Johnson of Tasman, another strong Tasman rider. He had a couple of good performances yesterday, really challenging in some of the group bunch events as well. On the back straight, Luca Moran of Waikato Bay of Plenty.
What can you tell me about this field, Cullen? Are they obviously got some strong performers this week?
Yeah, big field as well. 24 riders lining up for this 500 metre TT. Obviously going to get more towards the pointy end the further we get into this, but all of these riders have shown their strength and some pretty vicious racing over the first 3 days here. Seen all riders mixing it up and really challenging each other, asking serious questions of each other's ability as well. So should be good to see how this goes. 20 seconds remaining till our first heat gets underway here.
Five to go. Both away cleanly in this first heat of the under 17 boys 500 metre time trial. Cooper Johnson just winding it up now, and you've got Luca Moran coming through on the front straight. Nice and still and strong on the bike.
Good to see they've split up the Lucas for us today. A couple of days ago we had some Luca on Luca violence. Made my job easy here in the commentary booth, but not so good for our listeners, I think. Coming through with 1 lap to go here. Let's see how they go. First and second fastest, obviously, being our openers. Looks like Cooper just edging out Luca there. Oh, that's close. Looks like Luca's just taken it back. 37.454 for Luca Moran and a 37.478 for Cooper Johnson.
Close ride to get us kicked off.
0.02 of a second separating those two riders.
Those sorts of heats can continue. It'll keep it interesting for everyone.
Exactly, keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't go anywhere, that's for sure.
Test it. Here on the front straight, coming up for heat 2, we've got Benjamin Stewart from Auckland. And his opponent, his opponent's still not coming up yet, but we'll introduce him when he comes up. It's going to be the Southland rider, Jono Blythe.
Really cool to see Tessa Jenkins there coaching Benjamin Stewart on the front straight here. Awesome to see her out. She's helped a lot with Auckland cycling, obviously helps with St. Kitts.
Yeah, Tessa originally from Canterbury and has come up here in the last few years, and yeah, doing a good job at schools and underage cycling, which is awesome to see more coaches getting stuck in at that level.
Yeah, just seeing Jono Blythe on the back straight as well. Aboard his bike, he's ready to go now.
30 seconds to go. Both riders away cleanly again. Ben Stewart winding up on the front straight. Southland rider Jono Blythe coming through the bend. He's going to be coming past us now. Looking good.
Half a lap and it's close. Looks like Benjamin Stewart just edging out Jono there. Benjamin just holding on to that advantage, sitting in first and fourth fastest so far. So a little bit of split between them. Look to see Jono come home strong though. Half a lap remaining, here we go. Benjamin Stewart coming home in a 37.517 for third fastest. John O'Blythe just back in a 38.784. Those first two riders again just holding on for first and second so far.
Yeah, Ben Stewart, solid ride by Ben though. He's looks to be probably a bit more of a pursuiter or an endurance rider. So good to see him get out cleanly, and he did bring it home.
Absolutely interesting to see in our under 17 sprint qualifying. So the flying 200, we only had 17 riders versus 24 now for our 500 metre TT. Looked to be similar as well in our women's, just more showing up for the slightly longer event. So just looking there to Alex Fodden on the, we've got Leighton Riley here of West Coast North Island, and in the green colours, as well, Hano assures me they're supposed to be green. We have Alex Fodden of Wellington on the back straight there. He's just taking some deep breaths, going through the motions here. Alex putting in some strong attacks yesterday in the points race. Be interesting to see how he goes.
Somewhat of a local derby. I'm sure these two race each other regularly down the lower half of the North Island, so probably know each other's strengths and weaknesses. Won't help much here, but
will be interesting to see.
Good for a local derby.
Yep. Both riders probably well adapted to their local outdoor track, so let's see who's got the better adjustment on the indoor track here.
Nice clean starts again. Looks like back straight got away really, really well, Alex, on the back. So let's see how they come through in the half lap.
Yeah, snapped out of the gate really quickly there.
And he is, and he's up so far. First qualifier as well through the half split.
Absolutely. Here they come with 1 lap to go. Alex just up in a 21.014 and Leighton Riley in a 21.510, sorry. Coming through, half a lap to go. Alex just holding on to that advantage. Both riders with good leg speed coming through turns 3 and 4, coming home to finish strong. Alex Fodden holding on for fourth fastest, 37.786, followed by Leighton Riley in a 38.390 in fifth. Cooper Johnson then with a really strong time to open us up. He's holding on for now. Let's see how far he can get through the starting order.
It's both the Tasman riders that kicked us off and have held the hot seat for a wee while. So, yeah, that's awesome. Obviously, seeding times and then when they jump on the boards, kind of two different things.
Absolutely. Look for them to move up these seeding lists in the events to come in the future. So just looking now to Jack Gherkin of Auckland on the front straight and Frankie Thompson of Southland, just waiting for them to really lock his bike into that gate and get him ready to go.
Frankie Thompson, son of Glenn Thompson, a famous New Zealand rider and Commonwealth Games champion of the past, and a bit more of an enduro than a sprinter. So let's see how Frankie goes. Let's see if those genetics have carried through to a 500 time trial. But yeah, good to see Tomo's son on the start line.
Bit of track pedigree there coming through the genes. Looks to be quite lean, so look maybe for a slower start, but then really fast leg speed to bring us home in the final 250.
Lance Spencer getting Frankie pepped up on the back straight and on the front straight, Jack looking calm and composed.
Just inside 15 seconds to go.
Both cleanly away again. On the front straight, it looked like Jack had a really nice strong start out of the gate. And here comes Frankie ripping it down half a lap.
So slightly slower start, but still good enough for first and second. Frankie, really watch him wind this up now. Coming in for first lap. Oh, looks like Jack just edging Frankie out there. Good enough for first and second fastest though.
So come down half a lap to go. Jack's still got the advantage in first qualifier. Looks like he's going to take this one too. Looks great as they come to the line. And yes, First and second, 36.292 for Jack and 36.905 for Frankie. So top qualifiers so far. And yeah, good to see the low 36s coming into play halfway through or getting close to halfway through our field.
Absolutely, 37-second barrier just absolutely shattered there by Jack, and also Frankie breaking that as well. So displacing our Tasman rider, Cooper Johnson, but well done to withstand the kind of 6 riders behind him. 4 riders behind him, sorry.
We've got another Southland rider on here, Kane Borry on the front straight, and another Auckland rider on here with Zane Wiley on the back straight from Auckland. So another Southland Auckland derby.
Absolutely, and the target that these riders are aiming for is 33.682. That's Kaio Lart's record from the 2019, or from a 2019 special record attempt. So Kaio Lart, obviously from down in Tasman. They've got strong sprint potential. He's just moved up here to capitalise on the indoor track, also studying mechatronics engineering at Waikato University. This is his first year up here, looking just to balance out his cycling life a little bit. It's going to be really interesting to see how he goes in the future.
Remind me not to get into an in-depth conversation with Kaio one day.
Kaio was just saying the same thing about his dad yesterday, so I think he knows. Inside 15 seconds to go now.
Nice starts. On the front straight, Kane away cleanly. Big strong lad, Kane Borry. Be interesting to see how he brings this one home.
Looks like Zane Wiley just snapping out of the gate slightly quicker. Only 0.3 of a second separating them there though.
Yeah, Zane's certainly got the advantage as they go through the halfway mark.
Good enough for second and fourth so far. Coming into half a lap to go. How can they go? First fastest so far for Zane Wiley with half a lap remaining. Kane still sitting in fourth.
Good. Zane bringing it home now. What's he going to do? 36.063, just outside that 36 mark, and 37.566 from Kane. So also solid performance there. But yeah, 36 knocking on the door here. Nice ride,
yeah,
Zane Wiley.
Zane Wiley snapping out of the gate there. Really cool to see that fast start.
Another Auckland rider in the next heat versus Canterbury, so we'll introduce them as they step onto the track. On the front straight, you've got Canterbury's Luca Sanders being put on the gate by Hamish Ferguson. Hamish Ferguson, a stalwart of Canterbury cycling, does an awesome job down there, getting these young girls and guys prepared for the nationals and every year.
And looking at Finn Cogan of Auckland there on the back straight as well. Keep an eye out on Luca. Those Canterbury boys had a really strong race in the points race yesterday. Asked some serious questions of a few other riders. Really working hard for each other as well. So good to see some teamwork coming out through some of the centres here, especially at this under 17 level. Really capitalising on strength and numbers. .30 seconds remaining.
Away cleanly again, good to see. On the front straight, Luca Sanders. And coming through now, Auckland rider Finn Cogan. Both slightly down, but looking good.
Finn just with really good leg speed down the back straight there.
He's up into second spot, 20.1 through the lap. Can he challenge? Yes, he is. He's gone into the lead. Can he hold it through the last half? I think he's going to as they hit the line. Yeah, first place and dipping under that 36 seconds, 35.884. Nice time by Finn Cogan, and Lucas Sanders 37.101.
Yeah, that's really strong from Finn there. He's really brought that home strongly to break that 36 barrier. Let's see how that time stands up going into our final kind of 8 riders. Sorry, final 12 riders. Just coming up onto screen now, we can see Josh Parsons of Canterbury. Another really strong rider. And Alex Schuler on the back straight, local boy from Waikato Bay of Plenty here.
Let's see if these guys can start getting down to the towards that time of the late 33s, which 2 Marlborough riders actually, Kai Olard and Quinn Kowalski, holds the national champs record. So interesting, eh? The Tasman riders really seem like 500 time trials their thing.
Absolutely, with strong riders in Sean Fulton and Callum Saunders as well. Obviously, both go well in a 500 too. So got something going right down there, despite only having an outdoor track. Inside 15 seconds to go now.
Another clean start from both competitors.
Looks like Josh Parsons just getting away slightly quicker, a little bit of a surprise. Alex Schuler's probably spent a lot more time with these gates, but let's see how they go through the first half a lap.
Yeah, both of them looking good, actually.
Alex Schuler coming back, actually. He's slightly up on Josh Parsons.
Neck and neck through the halfway, and first and second qualifiers. Can they hold on to that? This is going to be a tight one.
Here they come with half a lap to go. Who's got the advantage? Josh Parsons just taking it back slightly, only talking 0.01 of a second there. Let's see how they finish it.
Oh, it's in the bike throw.
Wow, that's close. How close are we, Ross?
Yeah, fastest qualifier as well, and 35.216, and geez, look at that, 35.309. So less than a tenth of a second there, separating, and it really is pretty much in the bike throw.
Absolutely, there's not much separating those 2 riders there. Josh Parsons just got away with the advantage, but then Alex Schuler through the first half a lap and kind of traded places back and forth there right through to the end. Josh Parsons bringing it home really strong and throw of the bike just to get Alex Schuler there on the line.
And of course it's important in this event, you know, with no finals, you know, the throw of the bike can be the difference between a medal or not, or a gold or a silver or a bronze. So
exactly, we saw that yesterday between Michaela McDonald and Caitlin of Southland yesterday. Sorry, just going to introduce the riders here. So we have Lucas Bimmy of Auckland, and on the back straight, Ryan Hansen, local of Waikato Bay of Plenty. Lucas Bimey, strong rider, more of an endurance rider, so look for him to bring it home really strong in the second lap here. Looks good, looks comfortable, just to look across, just to see what's going on the other side of the track there. Yeah, coming back to that bike throw, obviously, Michaela and Caitlin yesterday, 3 bike throws across 3 sprints. That's all it came down to, I think, a couple of tie woods across all 3 of those sprints, so.
Yeah, awesome to see.
Really important skill. 10 seconds to go here.
Way well again. Good to see all these gate starts being absolutely nailed. Lucas Bimmy in the front. Ryan Hansen coming through now. It's strong out of the seat, strong upper body. That's awesome to see at this age.
Yeah, he's been spending some time working in the gym. Both riders just down a bit in 7th and 8th position so far. Look for them to bring it home real strong in the second half. 6th and 7th fastest with Lucas, just with a slight advantage over Ryan. Here they come into the final straight. Lucas Bimmy bringing it home strong, moving up to 3rd fastest so far, 35.877, and Ryan Hansen at 36.289, as you can see on screen there.
Yeah, he did bring it home. You sort of called it more probably enduro guys in the second lap. And yeah, still not quite bringing it home fast enough, but
Yeah,
valiant effort nonetheless. And here we've got on screen, with this should be a good heat. Liam Ramsey from Southland just coming up.
Yep, Liam, our 6th fastest qualifier in the 200. Let's see how he goes out of the gate and then bring it home in the final lap as well. I don't think those 2 times from the last heating are going to last long here, especially with Nate Boness coming up on the other side of the track. Nate, really strong. A little bit unlucky with a crash yesterday when he wasn't able to continue. But as you can see, some bandages on his right arm he's been taken care of.
Yeah, Nate obviously pretty well performed across the board in under 17 cycling this year. So, yeah, looking forward to see how he goes in this heat.
Yeah, look to see maybe if these riders can break that 35 barrier. We've gotten close so far with Josh Parsons with a 35.2. Let's see if we can best that one here. Nate Boness, obviously our fastest sprint qualifier in the 200, and 11.234, so that's pretty fast. Let's see how he goes on the little bit of extra distance. Just coming into 10 seconds to go here.
Looked like Nate on the back straight just got stuck in the gate slightly, so let's see if he can overcome that. Pretty clean on the front straight with Liam getting away nicely. See the half. Nate's already overcome that little catch in the gate, so he's really ripping it down the back straight. And into top qualifier so far, Nate Boness, 19.3 through the lap.
Yeah, that first lap really disappeared here. They come with half a lap to go. Nate holding the advantage, still first fastest. Liam just slipping down to 5th. Let's see how they bring it home. Nate charging towards the line here, fast leg speed there. 34.209. He's smashed that 35-second barrier.
Yeah, nice ride by Nate. Probably won't be so happy quite with his, gate start there. Just got stuck fractionally. Just went a fraction too quick. The gate held on to him, but managed to sort of rip out of it and rectify it pretty quickly to go top qualifier.
Absolutely. He would have been down into those 33 seconds barrier, I think, had he not been caught in the gate there. 0.2 of a second, that's not much. Let's see if that comes back to haunt him.
So 3 heats to go, 6 riders. Nate Boness in the top spot, and 6 riders trying to take him down here.
Absolutely. Finn Edwards of Southland there just on screen. He's going to pop his visor on. Get himself into the zone. Wolf Penne of Canterbury on the back straight there. He's strong. We've seen some really good performances of him so far. Canterbury producing some riders that are really good across the board, really good in the sprints and in the endurance events.
He'll be hungry for this one, Wolf.
Absolutely. $20 seconds remaining here.
Nice starts. Both guys away cleanly.
Finn just charging out of that gate, but looking quite even here. Let's see who's got the advantage after half a lap.
Looks like Wolf just slightly up as we come through the halfway mark.
Watch them build here.
Yeah, Wolf into second place, 19.8, so going under that 22nd for the first lap, so he's looking strong still.
Coming into half a lap to go. Wolf still sitting in that second position behind Nate. Can he really push that coming into the home straight? Hits the line in a 35.464, just slipping down to 4th there, unfortunately. Finn Edwards in a 35.951, good enough for 7th so far. Unfortunate there for Wolf, but still a strong ride.
Yeah, both good rides there, and I think they'll be encouraged by that. But yeah, Wolf not quite being able to put his hand up for the medals.
Exactly. He'd be a little bit disappointed by that, I think, being our second fastest in the 200, flying 200 the other day. Just shows the quality and the depth there. So Josh Parsons and Alex Schuler a few heats ago, still with 2 of the fastest times here.
So 2 heats to go, and just on screen now we've got Southland's Magnus Jamison, and he's been pretty well performed across the week so far, I believe.
He has. He's been dictating a lot of the racing, especially in the bunch events. So I think he's been another one to watch in the second half of this 500. A little fist bump for his coach there. Smile for the camera. He's ready. Looking relaxed.
Nice. And on the back, Kane Foster from Waikato Bay of Plenty, so he'll know his way around this track pretty well. Should be a good heat.
A little nervous yawn there from Kane. Both really strong endurance riders, so this could be a battle of the second half here.
Long time, that 50 seconds in the gate.
Sure is. Coming into 15 seconds to go now.
Nice start on the front straight by Magnus.
Yeah.
Got away really clean and strongly.
He sure did. Putting some power through those pedals as well. Let's see how they go into the first half a lap. Magnus really driving it here. He's got a significant lead there over Kane. Second fastest for Magnus so far, 13th fastest for Kane. So watch Kane build into the second half of this.
Magnus still in that second place, 19.6. Nice time to kick us off, but he'll be looking to bring it home and contest or knock Nate out if he can. Still second.
So Kane so far from 13th to 10th to 7th fastest. He's going to finish strongly here.
And nice time, 34.719, Magnus Jamison. Second place, so not quite able to get over top of Nate Burness, and solid time by Kane as well, 35.426 to leave him in 5th place with 1 heat remaining.
Yeah, so Kane almost just needing another lap there, I think. He built so strongly throughout that, just running out of track at the end there. Both endurance riders showing their prowess over the slightly longer discipline here.
Last heat coming up, front straight, Southland's George Manson. Looking pretty composed at the moment. Lance just getting his bike in the gate and ably helped by our own Fish Davis down there, just doing the job on the starting gates. Big thanks to the volunteers for being here for all week, really, for just volunteering their time. It's amazing what they put up, to...
Exactly. These coaches give up a lot. They work really hard for these riders. A lot of them just volunteers as well, almost all of them, I believe. So really awesome to see them up here supporting the riders. All smiles from Kane there as he walks off the track.
Back straight, you got Matthew Davidson from Canterbury, so looking forward to see how he goes as well on this. 20 seconds to go. Nice start by both these guys. Front straight, George Manson getting away well.
Our final heat here, so this is the last opportunity to unseat Nate Burness. Let's see how they go. Matthew Davidson driving, but it looks like George Manson just with a slight lead there, 3rd fastest so far. Matthew back in 15th, so let's see him build.
George Manson up in the second, 19.4. Can he challenge Nate?
Southland are really driving here. Looks like Matthew just holding, so George is definitely going to win this one. Can he take home the gold medal? Still sitting second fastest.
Just outside. Into second though, 34.705. So nice performance, but not quite enough to knock off Nate Burness.
Yeah, strong ride there from George. He's unseated. I believe
Here
Josh
we are
Parsons.
up on screen just there, the final times, and Nate Burness half a second over George Manson in the end, and Southland 2 and 3 with Magnus Jamison rounding out the top 3 in 34.719.
Yeah, Matthew Davidson finishing strong there. He got off to a bit of a slow start, but managed to bring it home for 8th, so that's good to see as well. But yeah, strong rides there, 35 seconds, 34 seconds across all of our top 8 riders. Sweet. So just sending you down to the infield soon for the awards presentations of those 500 metre time trials. We will be with you in a second.
Yeah, I think the main thing I got out of all that, Cullen, was that everyone was nice and clean out of the gate. You know, apart from our winner, who probably got stuck the most, everyone was nice and clean out. So obviously, a lot of the coaching in the regions, you know, going really well and teaching those fundamentals. That's what I like looking at when I come to watch under-17s, is are they doing some of those basics well?
Absolutely. It's really good to see just the technical ability across our under-17 riders, both in the boys and the girls. We saw some really tactical sprint battles from the girls yesterday, and the boys just showing their technical ability, getting out of those gates cleanly. I think Kai O'Lark might have been sweating a little bit there had Nate got out of his gate cleanly. That 33 barrier definitely could have been in trouble. So not that Kai would mind. I can see him down there with the commissaires down there, helping out as always.
Just looking down on screen there, you've got some of the guys warming down, and I think the girls finished warming down for their event, and some of them are up again in a wee while with Madison, I believe.
Absolutely exciting late morning of rides for us here. We have the under-15 scratch race finals and then the under-17 Madison finals. So interesting bunch races to come here.
Not going to lie, Cullen, I'm going to say that the Madison's probably my favourite race to watch, and I'd probably actually say the under-17 Madison my favourite race to watch. So there'll be all sorts of things going on. Hopefully I can talk you through it a wee bit and keep the viewers sort of in line with what's going on, because it is a hard one to follow back home. So
absolutely, with just the depth of the under-17 fields, it's going to be really interesting. Just got Nate Burness waving the screen. He is our winner of the 500 metre TT. Really strong lad. Looking a little bit beaten up after yesterday, but good to see him get up for it today. Well done, Nate. Yeah, we'll be looking to hand you guys to Ross here for the Madisons coming up, our resident expert, I believe. And he'll keep us directed towards the front of the race, see what's going on. Often see come behind finishes in the Madison as well, though, especially with one rider fading and another rider perhaps carrying the team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these centres put their combinations together, and you know, obviously often more than one combo per centre, which will be cool.
Exactly. Canterbury showing us yesterday in the points race that they have some real depth. They'll have two really strong teams with the likes of Josh Parsons and Luca Sanders, Wolf, Penne, and Matthew Davidson as well. So look out for them. They're going to be interesting to watch in this one.
Yeah, and those guys will be well coached as well. You know, we mentioned Hamish Ferguson before, but Terry Jide as well, sort of another stalwart of Canterbury cycling, and he's done a hell of a lot in coaching through the years, and you know, really passionate about that age, but really experienced, and he'll have the team tactics up there as well. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we've got some of their elite level riders based up here permanently now. Who are some of our elites from Canterbury, Ross?
I just saw Hugo Jones is one that springs to mind, and he's developing well in the senior ranks, and I think recently based here, and one of the Canterbury riders yesterday, Sammy Donnelly, had a great individual pursuit in the women's race, 3:33, and she's a couple of years out of junior, but hasn't had much going on lately. So I was stoked to see a time like that, and Canterbury riders definitely strong. I think their track development program are really strong, and they're racing 2 days a week down there on Sundays and Wednesdays, and you can see that transforming into the number of riders that they've brought up here, being competitive across all the age groups, really.
Exactly, seeing some really good racecraft from all of their riders. Sammy Donnelly obviously challenging Brian Ebotha in the elimination a couple of days ago. Really good to see our development riders really bumping up into that elite category as well.
Yeah, totally. I think that's the biggest thing, obviously, from the elites. We've actually got a few of the elite girls out this week with illness and various other things, but what that does allow is the opportunity for the development riders to gain some confidence, put their hand up and challenge the ones that are remaining, and that's actually really cool, because they get to compete and put their hands up to show what they can do.
Absolutely. They can't control that some of the other riders are here, so they might as well make the most of the opportunity and really show their strengths.
Totally.
Yeah, Ellie Wollaston, unfortunately, out with illness. Do you think she would have been pretty gutted to miss this? I think she stalled going over to Europe so that she could be here.
Yeah, I think Ellie is, probably one of the most competitive people that I know. She loves racing, so any time that she's got racing on the calendar and then she can't do it, she's pretty gutted. But you could also say that with a strong calendar across the season, Oceania Games in a couple of weeks, hopefully she comes right in time to sort of get across to Oceans and then across to Europe and into World Cups and stuff like that later in the year.
Absolutely, be looking to see her heal up nicely. A little break for her now. Hopefully she comes on strong for the rest of the season. So just headed down to the infield now for the presentation of the 500 metre time trials for the under-17 boys and girls.
Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championships Under-17 Girls Time Trial will now take place. The medals will be presented by Graham Hunn from Cycling New Zealand. In third place, and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Canterbury, Meg Baker. In second place, and the winner of the silver medal, representing Southland, Caitlin Kelly. And in first place, and the winner of the gold medal, and your 2022 Under-17 Girls Time Trial National Champion, representing Auckland, Jodie Blackwood. Jodie also receives the Shona Smith Memorial Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the place getters in the Under-17 Girls Time Trial National Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championships Under-17 Boys Time Trial will now take place. The medals will once again be presented by Graham Hunn from Cycling New Zealand. In third place, and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Southland, Magnus Jameson. In second place, and the winner of the silver medal, representing Southland, George Manson. And in first place, and the winner of the gold medal, and your 2022 Under-17 Boys Time Trial National Champion, representing Auckland, Nate Bonus. Nate also receives the Kevin Blackwell Memorial Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us and show your appreciation for the place getters in the Under-17 Boys Time Trial National Championship.
So while we wait for the girls to come on to the track for the 3,000 metre scratch race, so under 15 girls. Looking forward to this race. Obviously, it's been quite even racing with the under 15 girls this week, I believe. Quite good depth across the field.
Yeah, we saw in the points race a really good spread of points across the field. I'll be honest, under 15 racing, when I got handed my commentary schedule, I thought, this is like quiet start to a few days. I've been completely proven wrong. These under 15 girls and under 15 boys, really tight racing, really challenging each other, asking serious questions of each other at this age group. So awesome to see the depth going through into the years to come.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome to hear that, and I'm looking forward to watching this one. And the scratch race, obviously, on now. So first across the line, not too many tricks in this one. It's just how they go at the end of the 12 laps.
Absolutely. So we'll just look down to the track now and do a quick intro. So just looking at Nina Worrell of Auckland on the front, followed by Shayla Sayers of Canterbury, Olivia Ewing there in the green of Mid-South Canterbury, Emily Forsyth behind her in Southland colours, Pearl Brody of Waikato Bay of Plenty local, Piper Newton of West Coast North Island in the blue colours there, Lizzie Thompson behind her of Canterbury in the red, Poppy McIver there in Southland colours, and rounding out is Kendra Gray of Waikato Bay of Plenty. Good luck, girls. And away they go.
They get a free lap, and then if they're all together, Commissaire Brendan will blow his gun, and they'll be away.
Going to be a bit of a slow builder here. Got 12 laps total once they come around for the gun. Look for them to build into this, similar to some of their other races throughout this week.
I'm looking for them to build a little bit of speed on this banking too, actually. Yep, and they'll do that, but they're all together, so they should get the gun from Brendan, and then be away for the 12-lap scratch race. Let's see if someone rips into it like you've been describing in the points race. And they are.
Shayla Sayers immediately on the front.
She won the points race, so one of the favourites probably for the scratch race.
Sorry, I just got that wrong. That was Lizzie Thompson who just hit the front back there. But now we see one of the Waikato riders. I believe that is Kendra Gray there. Just pulls up. Immediately paces on a little bit. Everybody wanting to be near the front of the race. Yeah, some really dominant performances. Shayla Sayers showing in the sprints and in our bunch events that she is really dominant rider, really strong. See the West Coast North Island rider coming through now, slight acceleration there. That is again Lizzie Thompson. She's looking to ask some questions. She pulls up. A couple of riders going with her.
Nice work, and you'll see Lizzie try and just drop back. No, she's following the Southland rider up the bank. Rider on the front, just trying to stretch it out from Waikato. There's 208, Kendra Gray, being near the front for the start of the race.
And that's Shayla Sayers there, who's just hitting the front now. A little bit of a gap. Doesn't look like she's interested in driving it on, though. She's just setting a tempo down the back straight there. Olivia Ewing just coming around the top of the track there.
So a third of the race gone, 8 laps to go. Still all together, just sort of testing each other out, trying to couple of little digs, but nothing too serious at this point.
Exactly, nobody looking to go away, really just driving on a little bit and then turning around to see how people are looking, how they're feeling. Obviously 4 days deep here into some bunch racing now, so definitely be some fatigue in those legs.
One of the Southland girls, I can't quite see a number at the moment, but she's just been left on the front to do a fair share of the work. She's managed to get off it now, but Kendra Gray finding herself back on the front again.
She's looking around, just checking to see if anyone's coming up on her. Looks like she's going to swing up here. Shayla Sayers just following her up. She'll come underneath her. Olivia Ewing again just coming around the top of the track, just keeping an eye on things up the front.
5 to go here, so nice sort of time out to throw in a bit of attack, and that's exactly what we're sort of seeing through there. And the Canterbury girls again, just testing the legs. I like to see that. Lizzie Thompson.
Yeah, Lizzie Thompson, just a little dig in there and then swinging up just to look, see what's happening, see who's following her well. So Kendra Grace snapped down onto it, and now she's just wanting to swing up and get off the front. Here we see Lizzie Thompson again driving around. Shayla Sayers down the bottom. He's going to push on. Kendra Grace snaps down onto that wheel. Lizzie Thompson going the long way around. She's going to kick on now. Still a fair way to go coming into 3 laps to go, I believe.
Canterbury riders are on the front with 3 to go, so that'll be interesting. Do they stay there or do they move off and try and look to come back in? So coming around with 2 to go, you've got 2 Canterbury riders on the front, but looking in the box seat here, it's Kendra Graves, who's been very observant, and she's going to end up on the close to the front here with 2 to go.
Exactly. She's just been following wheels, looks content to sit on. Shayla Sayers' wheel, not a bad wheel to follow by any means. I don't think she's going to get boxed in if she can hold that. Shayla just accelerating there. What do we think, Ross?
Lap and a half to go. She's really opened it up at the moment. She's got a heck of a turn of pace, and I'm not sure if these girls are going to catch her. She's gone.
Exactly. 2 Southland riders just allowing Kendra Gray to shut that down. Looks like they're going to come around now and mount a last-minute kind of bridging attempt, but I think Shayla's cleared out. That's daylight now. Southland rider accelerating down the back straight, but Shayla doesn't look like she's coming back now.
No, she's not coming back. Can the Southland riders hold on for 2nd and 3rd? Strongly challenged by the Auckland. They're coming up here for 4th. Nina Worrell, no. Convincing victory. Shayla Sayers from the 2 Southland riders. It's Emily Forsyth and Poppy McIver. Believe that's the order or the medalists in the point race as well. So really sort of showing their endurance race form.
Exactly. Shayla there just dominant as well when she decided to kick on. Unfortunately, Kendra Gray of Waikato Bay Plenty just couldn't hold the wheel there. Shows, I think, just the strength of Shayla as well, being able to ride people just off her wheel. So dominant racing, but also good to see.
I'd say Kendra was the unlucky one there. She sort of did everything right early in the race, following the moves, looking around, got herself in the right place, and then just unfortunately got kicked off the wheel. Probably didn't expect that kick so powerfully. So I reckon one to watch for the future though, Kendra. She looked to be doing everything right.
Yeah, sound tactics there for sure, and as she develops and builds a little bit more strength in the legs, she can definitely come through to challenge those girls for the podium positions. So good to see. Good to see the level of coaching here again. Like riders just getting the fundamentals right and their development as they get stronger. Just looking to carry those fundamentals through. So good getting those small things right early on.
So we've got the boys coming up on screen now. Same race, 12 laps, scratch race. First across the line wins. And lining up on the front, we've got David Kwan. Now he was your sprint winner, wasn't he? Yeah, so David Kwan in this race, he was the sprint winner. So he'll be fast if they leave him to the end.
Exactly. And so we'll just do a quick introduction here, Ross.
Yeah, so we've got David Kwan from Auckland there, rider 181.
And James Arroyo there behind him in the red colours of Canterbury. Jesse Johnston behind him in the Mid-South Canterbury colours. Lachlan Kelly of Southland behind him. Carter Payne, obviously strong local boy in the Waikato Bay Plenty colours. Joshua Hannon of West Coast North Island there behind him. Hunter Ballard of Auckland, another strong rider there. Connor Toomey as well in the green of Mid-South Canterbury. Oscar McIver of Southland there. Looking Jamie Henderson of Waikato Bay Plenty. Behind him, Zach Wallet of West Coast North Island. Dylan Rowe, another local boy from Waikato Bay Plenty. Ben Murphy, really strong rider there of West Coast North Island. And rounding us out is Nicholas Smith of Waikato Bay Plenty.
Get the whistle to do the free lap, and Brendan will be looking to see if they're all together as they come across the line here.
Yeah, Ben Murphy coming from towards the back there. He's already looking to move forward a little bit. Don't think they'll have any problems keeping this bunched up with everybody wanting to move towards the front there. David Kwan, as you mentioned, I think a few of these boys will know that they need to put the pressure on in the first 12 laps here, because they do not want him coming to the line in his second, third wheel, because he will put them under a lot of pressure there at the end.
Looks like they're away cleanly. Good mix of centres represented in this race, which is good to see. Spread right across the country.
Looks like Ben Murphy sent out with some instructions there. He's found David Kwan's wheel already, having come from opposite ends of the rail. Smart riding there. It's a good place to be.
.185 Lachlan Kelly just assessing the situation from the front from Southland at the moment, sort of just looking over his shoulder and, yeah.
Exactly.
Just keeping the pace kind of up, but not too fast, so he can keep things under control.
Exactly. Perhaps prefers a steady tempo. He's happy just to set it at a slightly faster pace than what a few riders would like if they were going to snap away from the field. So keeping everybody together for now. It's like Ben Murphy and his teammate moving up towards the front now, just keeping him out of trouble.
Two Southland riders on the front. Still keeping things controlled. Nice posse to be in behind Lachlan on the front.
Exactly. Looks like Connor Toomey there sitting third wheel as well, I believe.
You've got a contrasting of morphologies with those two lads on the front, and
yeah,
you certainly probably wouldn't want it the other way around from a draft perspective.
No, looks like our second Southland rider there getting a nice tow around the track. He'd be nice and fresh coming into the finish.
It's like a wee pocket rocket. Seven to go. It'll be 6 as they come around next time, and they're just starting to feel some speed now down the back straight.
That Southland rider on the front using his size and his strength there just to keep the West Coast North Island rider higher on the track, making him go the long way if he wants to come around him.
Interesting tactic from Lachlan Kelly on the front. He really kind of trying to ride this like a Kieran or an elimination, just hold the front and see if he can hold them off the whole way. So, be interesting.
Absolutely. Clearly a strong lad. Good endurance in the legs as well. He's just burnt off the West Coast North Island rider. He's had enough. He's not coming around him. Connor Toomey moves up to challenge him. Let's see how this goes for him. Here comes Connor Toomey with a bit of a run here. Sorry, that's Toomey's teammate. He swings up the track.
Still Kelly on the front, assessing it, looking over his shoulder. I'm not sure he's going to hold off this attack from 183 coming around the outside. That's Jesse Johnson from Mid-South. He's really putting a burner. Is he going to have a look to see what's coming?
He has kicked on hard with coming into 3 laps to go here. It's gone a long way up, but he has got a little bit of a gap.
Who's chasing him? West Coast North Island. That's rider 191. Who we got here? Joshua Hannon, who's taken up the chase.
Yeah, it looks like Carter Payne on his wheel, followed by David Kwan, also Connor Toomey sitting there as well. Those are perhaps 3 of our favourites. Carter Payne just opting to go around the West Coast North Island rider. He's going to shut this down.
Coming in 2 to go, so he's got a nice gap to run at here. And here comes Kwan, 181 around the outside. Payne will be looking to get on his wheel.
Looks like Ben Murphy coming through there as well.
300 metres to go, and just coming into the final lap, you've got Kwan on the front. Murphy you talked about. Is he going to get up to Kwan?
Toomey there chasing his wheel as well. Toomey's going to look to draft Ben Murphy, hopefully to Kwan's wheel.
And here comes Payne trying to challenge the medals around the outside, the Waikato lad.
You go 3 wide through the final bend here. David Kwan is clear, but who's going to take our second and third medals? This is going to be close. Lunge for the line.
Oh, close for third.
Looks like Toomey in second there from Carter Payne, from Ben Murphy. Ben Murphy just rolled there at the line. He did the lion's share trying to bring back David Kwan there, but David Kwan too strong. Really strong rider from up in Auckland there, Ross.
Yeah, he was sort of showed that sprint that we talked about at the start, didn't he? Waited late, didn't do any work on the front earlier on, played to his strengths and flew the coupe out 2 to go and got the victory.
Absolutely. Strong tactical riding there from our under-15s, which is good to see. David just riding smart. He knew he didn't have to do any work. He knew nobody was going to send a flyer. 12 laps, just not quite long enough, but also not short either. So he just sat in, waited, 2 laps to go, lit the match, and off he went. Do you believe me with the excitement of the under-15 racing now, Ross?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good getting a bird's eye view. Obviously, with some of the restrictions and that we've the organisers have put together to keep everyone safe at the moment, I haven't been able to come in and watch much of this so far this week. So it's nice to get a little taste of it and certainly know what you're talking about when you're saying it's been some of the best racing you've seen this week. So
exactly, some really close racing there from our young juniors. Really cool to see. Hard to say no to a commentary invite when you get to come in and get a perspective of that a lot of people are missing at the moment. So really privileged to be in here. Looking forward to next year, hopefully, when we can get crowds in here and they can experience this for themselves. Really cool having all of the age groups together despite having kind of a bubble set up as we have at the moment.
yeah, it's the first time that we've had the under-15s back in with the elites for a long, long time. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool that the event's able to happen and these under-15s are able to ride with their kind of their future heroes as it were. But be even better when they get the crowd along to watch them. But yeah, saying that, the events team have done an amazing job just being able to get this across the line. So
exactly, definitely been some challenges just getting this event run, obviously with COVID cases just spiking recently. So congratulations to our events team for getting this one going. Also really cool, obviously in this bubble for the morning sessions, we've had the under-15s with the under-17s, and under-17s looking to really step up and show the under-15s how it's done. Good role models for the younger riders here, so really cool to see.
So I believe we've got a bit of last-minute team tactics happening on the infield before the Madison. This is the one I've been looking forward to this morning.
Absolutely, Ross. Do you want to give us a quick rundown of what the Madison's going to look like and kind of what the rules are around it?
Yeah, so the Madison, it's a team event. You'll have 2 riders from each team, and the objective is to get points every 10 laps, but you can do that with your teammate, and they relay by grabbing each other's arm and giving them a sort of a sling into the race. So quite technical. They have to do quite a bit of practice to get that right, and a bit of strength required. But when you see it, it's magic. Just cutting across to the scratch race result on screen. David Kwan was your winner. Connor Toomey second, and just missed that 3rd place one. I think it was the photo for 3rd, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Carter Payne. So really important with the Madison to watch the commissaire on the front. He'll be pointing to who's the front group down on the front straight, and that'll help you follow the race.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously with teams we have one rider rolling slowly around the top and one rider down on the black riding hard. Sometimes it can get confusing with riders spread across the track. So keep an eye on the comm to see where he's pointing. He'll show you the lead of the race. So 30 laps for this one, Ross. We have sprints from 21 laps and then every 7 laps from there. So 21, 14, 7 and 0. Even points distribution throughout?
Yeah, 5, 3, 2 and 1 across the line, each sprint. Should be too hard to follow with a smallish field.
So just like a points race then essentially, but with some exciting Madison slings.
Exactly. What you can do in this race as well, and it's probably unlikely to see it in this field, but you can lap the field, and and then you're a lap up, and that's a lap up is very hard to beat when someone's a lap up because you actually have to get back on that same lap as that team. So, often in some of the longer races in the elites, their tactic might be sitting on early and then going for a lap rather than the points. So it's complex as well. But when it's really humming, it's probably one of the most beautiful bike races to watch or be a part of.
Absolutely, poetry in motion, eh, Ross?
Yeah, it's certainly an event that I've enjoyed coaching in the past. I didn't enjoy riding it so much. I ended up on the deck a couple of times, but these riders have got a lot more skills than I have. So.
Starting. So here our riders are away now. Obviously, you see our leaders, so our first riders just rolling off the rail, Ross.
Yeah, Canterbury's Megan Barker, and she'll be teamed up with Kirsty Watts. Waikato team of Caroline Gray and Hannah Payne. Southland Caitlin Kelly and Zadie Scott. Wellington's Millie Donald and Michaela Perry. And the last team, a pool team, Lucy Griffin with Millie Wright. So they're in the Oceania white and blue at the back.
So obviously Waikato Bay are plenty able to field 2 teams. Sorry, no, that's a combination team of a Waikato Bay plenty rider and a Southland rider by the looks of things.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Yeah, good to see them adding racing opportunities there for the riders that aren't able to field 2 teams from the same centre. Just helping bulk out this field a little bit, Ross.
What's your pick, Cullen? You've obviously seen a lot of this racing this week. What sort of team do you think would be to the fore?
It's really hard to go past the Canterbury team there. Meg Baker is so strong. She'll be looking to pick up points in each of these sprints. I'd be surprised if there's too much competition in the sprints. I think a lot of these riders know they need to go clear if they're going to challenge her. So keep an eye out for Meg Baker and Kirsty Watts, the riders in the red Canterbury colours there.
First exchange there by the Waikato team. So the bunch is sort of safely away. The first exchanges happened from some teams. Not all of them decided to change in that first coming together there, but they're all clean. And usually it's quite messy, the first one. Riders are sort of finding their way. They're sort of still together, but usually once the first change is out of the way, the race sort of flows a little bit better from there.
Exactly, just getting those race nerves kind of cleared out by a nice clean change can be good. Can be pivotal though, just kind of easing into the race and kind of getting rid of those pre-race nerves. So do the riders have to change at any point, Ross, or can they just decide themselves?
No, they can decide themselves. In fact, you can have one rider in for the whole time, but it's obviously disadvantage to do that. And the more you change, the fresher each rider is of the combination. So, yeah, you know, in the elites, we try and change 4 times every 10 laps. So sort of every 2.5 laps, we try and get a change in, and that keeps everyone fresh, and it also helps set up the sprints for a fresh rider coming in with about 1 to go.
Yeah, obviously both riders on each team having to think about a lot as well. You've got to be observant of where you're going to be when that change happens as well. Is there any optimal point at where you like to have those changes happen, Ross?
Really, the middle of the banking is the best place, and at 1 to go, that's the most important. So if you can work backwards from there. So what I'll be keen to see here is if anyone gets those changes close to 1 to go, you know that they're working to a good plan, and sort of think about what they're trying to do to come in fresh for that sprint. And the fresh rider for the sprint will always beat the one that might have been already in for a couple of laps. So
Exactly. Getting a nice sling with 1 to go onto one of the wheels near the front is always optimal. Be interesting to see who's been sent out there with a plan today and who can execute on that plan. These under-17 girls have shown that they are good at executing those, so we'll be interested to see how this goes. Coming in for 22 to go, our first bell lap.
4 sprints.
Just looking now for the first sprint. Looks like Caitlin of Southland is going to take that one out, followed by Kaylin Gray and the rider in the Oceania jersey.
Yeah, that was the pole team. Lucy Griffin and Millie Wright. So getting some points at the start there.
Kaylin Gray just coming through on the front now. Kirsty Watts on her wheel. Looks like the Canterbury team just missing out on points there early on, Ross.
Yeah, they could be tactical. They could be saving for those later sprints and trying to clear out using Meg Baker's strength here later on. But yeah, nice first up sprint win by Southland. They did that really cleanly and changed at the bell. So
speaking of, we just see Kirsty Watts just throwing in.
And there it is. That's what I was thinking. You know, sometimes you don't go for that first sprint, and then you can lay down some acid straight afterwards. So that's what Meg Baker's decided to do.
Exactly, just on going into the embankment now, we just see the 2 Waikato riders, Kaylin Gray just flicking in her teammate there. Meg Baker, those clearing out. She's just, her and her teammate allowed the others to fight it out for that first sprint, and they've just gone for it. So the beauty of this is obviously quite hard to go solo when it's just you by yourself and say a scratch race or a points race, but when you can lap in and out with your teammate, it allows you a nice little rest, Ross.
Yeah, totally. And here we've got Meg Baker. She's going to get that rest. She's got a nice gap. Oh, mischange there, but they did get a touch, so you just have to touch. And then that means that the other rider's in, so they got that. Wasn't a great sling, but...
Yeah, unfortunately that's allowed the Waikato rider to come back onto the wheel, so fortunate for the Waikato rider. They are now clear together. Just showing the importance of the exchanging rider coming up to speed. Just enough, looked like Kirsty just going a little bit slow, just hand slipped when Meg Baker tried to sling her through there, but that's all right. Kaylin Gray comes in now.
Coming in for the second sprint now, and so you've got the Waikato team on the front with Canterbury looking to get their first points of the race. So they got one in the first time, but they'll be looking to come around for 5.
Exactly. Waikato there strong with 3 points in the first sprint. So Kaylin Gray just leading this one out. Looks like Kirsty Watts has settled on the wheel.
Sling will be interesting here. You've got... Oh, they've done that nicely, Canterbury. You see Meg just getting across the line so that the sprint had finished before she was getting slung in, which was smart riding, actually.
Absolutely, and a nice clean sling as well. Kirsty giving her a good flick back onto the wheel, so good to see.
So Waikato Bay are planning taking 5, Canterbury 3, Southland 2, and that Oceania team getting another point, so they're keeping themselves in the mix.
Yeah, just seeing it come back together. The only team separated now is Wellington, so they're going to look to keep trucking on. Never know what's going to happen later in the race. Have all 4 of our other teams, Southland, the pool team, Canterbury and Waikato all together there. So our updated scores are Waikato Bay Plenty on 8 points, as you can see on screen. Southland on 7, Canterbury on 4, Oceania on 3. So close racing at the moment.
And 2 sprints to go, so you can see the Oceania team on the front now just slinging down. There'll be another sprint at 7 and the last, obviously the final lap. So looks like a mechanical for the Waikato team just down in front of us here. So puncture there, they're trying to fix that ferociously. So Waikato will be left in just by herself. That'll get tough if that takes too much longer, that wheel change.
Exactly. You can already see Kirsty Watts just swapping out there with Meg Baker, and she's driving on. It's going to put some pressure on the Waikato rider now. She's seen that they're in difficulties. Going to look to capitalise on that. Nothing wrong with that.
That's Hannah Payne left in from the Waikato team. So should we just trying to keep cover, sit in behind and not do too much work on the front while she's a teammate down? So hopefully the others will be trying to capitalise.
That little dig as well has put our pole team in difficulty. The Southland rider just going backwards. That looks to be Lucy Griffin, I believe, going backwards. Pace has just come out of that front group a little bit though.
So still anyone's race. They've got a sprint coming up again shortly. Here it comes. Is there any changes in it? 1 to go. We'll be looking, Canterbury and Southland might be looking for the exchange here. They might be too deep into the sprint. No, change at 3/4 to go. Perfectly timed, and you see that from the Southland rider, what a good change can do. It really just propels them forward, and it'll get them across the line first for the sprint.
Absolutely. Southland looking to equal things up. I think maybe slightly edge into the lead over Waikato. Waikato rider doing a really good job there. Kaylin Gray still having some difficulties down here on the apron.
Yeah, totally. This will be an awesome ride if she can hang in there and get amongst the medals almost solo for the half of the race.
Exactly. Meg Baker been thrown in again by Kirsty Watson. She's putting them under pressure. Looks like the Waikato rider now just slowly getting stretched off the wheel. She keeps battling though. Kaylin Gray's going to be super fresh when she comes back in. Can see her back on the track now.
6 to go. She's just about to do the last part by herself, I'd say. But you got Canterbury sort of trying to stretch their lead, being yelled by Terry Jai, like, come on, girls, keep that gap. This is all or nothing now.
Exactly. So the order on the track now is Kirsty Watts, just been thrown in by Meg Baker, followed by the Waikato rider, the Southland rider, who's just been thrown in, coming back strong. She's going to overhaul the Waikato rider now.
You can see Hannah Payne's really starting to suffer now after being in there by herself for a period of time, and she's going, where are you, Kaylin? Here you are. Thank goodness for that. You've got the rest, mate.
Yep. Look for a good change here, and then it's just going to be a strong 4 laps to go from Kaylin Gray. Hopefully plenty of gas in those legs. She's going to chase hard here. Southland
chasing hard. They're on the top spot at the moment. They're on 12 and Canterbury's down 6. So they're just trying to hold on.
Southland coming in for a change. Waikato rider Kaylin's just going to come around the top of them. Having to go the long way around because of that change, but they're going to work together to come back.
2 to go, and Kirsty's going to throw Meg in for the final lap in a bit. So that's nice timing to throw Meg in for the sprint.
Yep, that looks planned, doesn't it, Ross?
Yeah, nice timing there, and I don't think anyone's going to catch Meg here, but it's going to put the final standings very tight.
So then Meg comes flying around the outside there, lapping a couple of our riders. She's going to drop down onto the black with 1 lap to go. Kaylin Gray is now in second, chasing hard. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. We see the Oceania rider chasing hard onto Meg Baker's wheel, but she has been lapped. So.
Yeah, she's a lap down, so the Southland riders will effectively finish third in this sprint. And as they come across the line, Meg Baker takes out that for Canterbury, that final sprint.
Yeah, well executed race there from the Cantabrians.
Waikato second, and Southland third across the line in that sprint. That may just hold them on here.
Yeah, unfortunate for the Waikato Bad Plenty team there. Kaylin Gray with that mechanical halfway through the race there, really forcing her teammate Hannah Payne really to work hard. Strong performance from Hannah Payne to get the work done that she did.
Yeah, that was impressive having to stay in for so long, and obviously the mechanical wasn't able to be solved quickly, but quick enough to get her back in the race. Kaylin Gray.
Yeah, obviously, as we were talking about with when you choose to do your changeovers, we were shown 2 very different races. Obviously, the Waikato riders wouldn't have wanted that, but it's interesting for our viewers just to see how that can work. Did come quite close back together there at the end, but we'll see when final points come up just what the result of that was.
Obviously, that missed or that mechanical, it shows what a missed change can do as well in the elite field when the speed's at 50, 55 k's an hour and you miss a change and someone gets left in there, it can really harm their team, and so you sort of saw that at the end with the Waikato team, but yeah, it gets accentuated the faster they're going and the higher up the level.
Yeah, you can quickly find yourself in trouble, and it's not as simple as just change over and then you're sweet again, because often that rider who's come in is going to have to close up a gap, and then both riders...
The double points on the last there means Canterbury getting the 10 in that final sprint. Waikato second. Wellington, they've given third and Southland fourth, with Wellington being a lap down, however, but Southland... There you go, Waikato. So that's a fantastic win, really, by the Waikato team. So they did enough to take the final victory on 17.
Epic ride there from Kaylin Gray and Hannah Payne there. Hannah Payne really just saving it for them. Incredible ride from her there.
And Canterbury 16, and I think Southland will hold on for third.
Yep, looked like it. Wow,
obviously the double points in the last sprint just changes everything, and that's the tactic, really. Keep yourself close and wait for that last sprint where those double points come into play.
Yeah, Hannah Payne earning a big pat on the back there from Kaylin Gray.
There's the final score up on screen now. Waikato Bay Plenty 17, Canterbury 16, and Southland 14 just holding on to the medals. I mean, the medalists were close.
So just seeing down the bottom there, Wellington on -16. So obviously they were lapped out, but then also picked up some points in the sprints along the way as well.
Exactly, so that last sprint, I think they were just where they were when they got lapped. So on to the boys' race now, and I know that some of these guys have done quite a lot of Madison. They do it at the NTS series throughout the year, and they'll be looking pretty dialed, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. These guys have been working on their changes a lot, I think. Obviously, so just looking now to the under-17 boys Madison final at the Cambridge Track National Championships here at the Grassroots Trust Velodrome. So, just looking at our riders on the front straight here, we are looking at Lucas Sanders of Canterbury. Behind him, Magnus Jameson of Southland. Kane Foster on his wheel of Waikato Bay Plenty. Lucas Baimi. Oh no, sorry, that is Nate Boness behind him. My bad, boys. Just getting a few looks for that mix-up. Behind him, hard to tell here. That could be either Eva Jack or Sterling Jarnell. Give me a thumbs up if that's right, lad. Doesn't it? He's giving me a weird look, so I've definitely got that one wrong. Bernard Pawson behind him in the Stelly jersey, and the team of Alex Fodden and Liam Ramsey behind him.
Yeah, quite a few teams in here. This will keep the race pretty interesting. So you know how it works now. 40 laps. So how many sprints have we got? 4 sprints. So sprints every 10. That helps the maths up here a little bit. That last one was sprints every 7 laps. I was sort of like having to do the quick maths there. So this one should be much simpler for us and for you at home.
Exactly. I'll have to get the finance manager in here next time if they keep giving us funny lap and sprint numbers like that. 1 every 10 laps. That's the way we go. That's the way we like it now. So obviously just seeing the front straight boys just rolling down for their first lap before we get underway.
Yeah, the guys on the back straight have to stay there till the gun goes. Then they can roll off whenever they want. Often making a clean first exchange means rolling off first and getting to the front. So you'll see Canterbury trying to do that.
Just off screen there, you saw the Southland rider and the Auckland riders just waiting. They looked to do a change there early on. Unfortunately, the Auckland rider wasn't able to do that, so he's going to leave Nate in there for another lap. I don't think Nate will have any problem with that, though.
So you see Waikato getting a nice clean first exchange in Canterbury, and see being at the front of the field, that just really enabled a clean track for them to do that. So,
exactly, first sling there for a few teams, really clean, and looks like the Waikato and the Canterbury teams looking to kick on. Nate Burness, I don't think, changed yet, and he's just chasing them down, looking to come around to Lucas Bimey now. Lucas Bimey's going to accelerate up a little bit for Nate here. Nate's going to give him a big sling. Hopefully that'll send him forward to the Canterbury rider's wheel.
There's Wolf from Canterbury on the wheel there of our Waikato rider, Kane Foster, Kyle Paris. You've got a red number and a black number, so that differentiates who they are of the team.
Exactly, and how do they decide, Ross, who's going to sit on front straight and back straight?
They can choose now. Used to be a set order, but now they can choose. Later rules. But yeah, so in the black for the Waikato, you've got Kane Foster. So he's just taken the front.
Yeah, we did see some interesting tactics. Saw Nate Burness choosing to take the front straight, so compared to Lucas Bimey. Oh, that's a little bit of a rough change, but they got it done. Nate Burness just accelerating onto the back of those front 3 wheels.
And often they'll decide that by who's going to come in for the sprint. And if they're changing every 4 times, the person that starts should be the person that sprints. So, but of course, if they're not quite changing full times, then they can change it as well.
Exactly. I wonder if missing that first lap change there for the Auckland riders has mixed up that order a little bit. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this unfolds, coming in with 33 laps to go.
Canterbury, another nice clean exchange. And yeah, they've held the front for the whole start of the race so far, looking nice and clean and really trying to stretch it out now. There's a few teams sort of chasing down the back.
Exactly. No mucking around here for the boys. Really getting into their work. Looks like Canterbury just moving away off the front there. Wolf Penny, by the looks of it, really digging on. Lucas Bimey having a chase. Magnus Jameson behind him. Looks like daylight between all 3 of those riders. Magnus Jameson just clearing out a little bit from the little group behind them. They're coming in bell lap now, 31 to go, Ross. Do we think Wolf can hang on?
I think so. They'll be looking for a change here. Looks like coming into change, half lap to go, which is an interesting move. They probably haven't timed that quite so well, but if he can hold on for second, that'll be good enough to get some good points.
Lucas Bimey taking that one from Lucas Sanders after that late change, and Magnus Jameson just coming in for 3rd. They'll come through for a change now.
You see the Auckland team did that really well. They got across the line for the sprint and then changed straight afterwards. So
absolutely chaos on the track now. Riders everywhere. Looks like Kane Foster now coming onto the back after missing out on points in that first sprint. So we have Auckland with 5, Canterbury with 3, Southland with 2, and Southland Blue with 1 point. They're rounding out the sprints with 28 laps to go now. Looks like a bit of a group coming back together here.
Yeah, just reforming again after the first sprint, and you've got Southland on the front, so they're getting themselves back into contention, and Waikato just still pressing on with Canterbury on their wheel. Canterbury have been all over it. They've been in every move so far, so obviously showing their intent early, trying to keep a clean track for themselves.
Absolutely. After Waikato got distanced just before that first sprint, they're looking to move off the front, but Lucas Byme just closing that gap with the Southland Blue team. They're just coming onto the back of that group of 4. Magnus Jameson bringing things back together as well for him and the Castelli team.
So you'll see one of the key things for this race is to go around the change. So if someone's changing, like the Southland Blue team, the others will be going around the outside. So rule number 1, never go under the change.
Exactly. See the rider, after they've changed, just dropping down the track and staying slow. So if you go underneath them there, could easily get caught out, pushed down low, moving into the embankment, and it's not pretty when that happens. So after briefly coming back together, the race has just splintered again. We saw all the teams bar one back together a lap ago, and now get daylight between most of the riders. 24 to go, so a few laps to go into the sprint. Just seeing the back marker there being lapped. He stays low on the track.
Yeah, Waikato on the front coming in at 2 to go to the sprint. Southland trying to get back into it, both Southland teams. And coming into the sprint, nice timing here for Auckland. They'll nail this timing, coming in at 1 to go. That's spot on from Auckland.
Both Canterbury and Auckland there with the change coming into the last lap, so this will be a big fight here. Kane Foster, who's not got a change in the last lap, he's struggling. He's just been distanced a little bit.
You can see the speed that they get from that change with 1 to go, can't you? And good sprint on here. Who's going to get it? Looks like Auckland hold on.
Baimi holds on over Wolf there. Strong sprint there. Kane Foster will be looking for a change there. That's really good timing. You see the difference that it makes, those two teams sending a fresh rider in for the sprint where Kane just had to kind of hang on after a few laps already.
Totally.
In the field.
Waikato will be looking to make amends though and go to the front, maybe put a bit of acid on those teams that had hard sprints. So, and that's exactly what's happened here. Waikato team is trying to clear off the front, and you got Kane and Kyle just testing the legs again, saying, well, we need some points.
Yeah, exactly. Shows the interesting team dynamics because that's Kyle Paris there who's just riding for the Waikato team. Maybe not quite as strong as Kane Foster, so just having to share the work evenly. Looks like Nate Burness coming onto the wheel now, and I believe that is the Canterbury rider of Lucas Sanders. So Kyle's going to snap down onto that wheel. He needs to hold on now. They're coming around to Kane Foster now, so there'll be a change here. Kane will snap back onto that wheel and go again with 17 to go.
Burness has waved off his teammate, said, nah, I've got this, mate. Do another lap. I'll take this one.
That could be good timing. 16 to go. They might be changing with maybe 2 laps until the next sprint, Ross.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Then I think Nate's just thinks this is a dangerous move. Obviously, we know how strong he is. He just won the 500 time trial, so maybe he just looking to cover the move while it's going and throw Lucas in again for the sprint, which he did so well in the previous one.
Exactly. 4 of our big centres all represented here with Wolf Penny on the front of Canterbury. Have our Auckland rider Nate Burness behind him. Kane Foster.
Here comes a change by the first 2 teams. Look at this, nice and clean, fellas. Lovely work.
And then Southland rider just looks to be struggling a little bit. Looks like Lucas Sanders of Canterbury needs to be careful here. That's going away. He's going to follow Magnus Jameson though.
Yeah, Magnus coming into the race, I think. This is sort of Canterbury's early aggression is perhaps starting to take their toll, but is it Wolf into it now?
I think I got that wrong. I think that's Sanders now who's just come in. So Wolf looking a little bit fatigued. Sanders coming
turn
strong.
of pace from the Canterbury lad down the back straight. He's going to get. Is he going to go straight round? He's just settled in on the wheel and putting himself in a good position for the sprint. Coming up next time round, they'll get the bell. Bit of an early change from it isn't under the change we talked about, but Auckland changing quite high, so making it quite hard for the etiquette.
Exactly, would have been going a long way around there to get around that one. Perhaps not the nicest change. 1 lap to go.
Canterbury on 1 to go. Nice timing, but didn't quite have the pace.
Yeah, just going backwards a little bit while Burness went around the outside, accelerating. Kane Foster coming hard into the embankment. Has to go the long way around. Nate flicks up to go around the lap
Foster looking for some points, and he's going to get the points.
Kane Foster ahead of Nate Burness. He's crept over him there in the last 20 metres.
And still going, geez, it's a bit of carnage on the track now, isn't it? A few lap teams coming into it, and
exactly, just
and
saying.
Auckland just changing high again, and you see that high on the track change makes it really difficult for other teams to get round. So.
Exactly. Nate Bonness not happy there, but if Auckland doesn't want that to happen, they need to be changing down on the black. So not much the other team rider I could have done there. But yeah, now we have at the front, we have Kane Foster followed by the Southland Blue team who have been lapped with Lucas Byme behind him. They are still on the front lap.
So Canterbury trying to get back into it.
So just waiting on an update of points, but currently Auckland leading with 10, Canterbury with 6, Southland with 3. Waikato Bay planning with 2, obviously, though.
It'll update with the last sprint and 1 to go. Double points, of course, for this last one. So
absolutely. Look for Kane Foster to really dig in hard. He's just throwing in Kyle Paris now onto Nate Burness as well, both teams changing. Got a grouping of 5 teams at the front now, but 2 of those teams have been lapped, so an interesting dynamic now. Southland, just a little bit distance. Magnus Jameson looking a little bit fatigued. Going to be interesting to see if they can come back. Ross, updated points now.
Yeah, that's the one of the last sprint. Waikato on 5, Auckland 3, Canterbury 2 and Southland 1. So that'll tighten things up at the top when we get the tallies.
So Kyle Paris now just going to be caught by the Canterbury rider and the Auckland rider. That's Wolf and Bonness. Quick change coming on now. Got to make sure, yep, they're changing nice and
There
low.
it is there. So you've got Auckland in the lead with 13, Canterbury 8, Waikato 7 and Southland 4, but double points last sprint. So you've got Canterbury and Waikato probably still in the mix to overtake Auckland if they get this last sprint right. And Waikato at the moment putting the acid on and looking to do so.
Southland rider just coming back, but...
So the Waikato rider will be looking for his teammate, but he's rolling a bit fast. I'm not sure they're going to get a change in here.
Yeah, I think Kyle Paris just needs to ease up a little bit there.
I think maybe leaving Foster in for the sprint could be the best thing to go. Coming out, 2 to go. You've got some teams come back into it. Oh, changed by Southland. And Magnus is caught back up and he's gone after the double points. So he's gone, well, we've only got 4. I want 10 and gone for it.
He looked fatigued early, but he's gone hard. His teammate managed to get back to that leading group.
And you've got the Southland Blue team, who are not in the mix, going to steal the 6 points as well. So this could be really good for Southland coming across the last sprint.
Canterbury and Auckland coming into the final sprint. Looks like Auckland overhauls.
Just get it.
Far out. So in the final sprint there, we had Magnuson taking max points, Southland Blue in second, Auckland just pipping Canterbury there for third position and fourth position, rounding out the points. It's going to be close here on the points total. We see Nate Burness just looking up at the board, doing some calculations before the updated points are released. Waikato losing out in that final sprint.
Should still have Auckland holding on there. Their third place, just pipping Canterbury, was pretty crucial for them to hold on across the line. But, you know, Southland getting the 10, so that'll skyrocket them up the standings.
Exactly. Southland
probably in second.
Southland Blue putting the cat amongst the pigeons as well there at the end. Obviously not much for them to gain having been lapped, but still wanting to mix it up, and good on them.
It was perfect for the other Southland team because they also took points away from the rivals of Southland there, so they could put a bit of distance in that final sprint. So,
do you think we have a good team tactician down there in Southland setting up an advanced game plan for the under-17
I thought
Madison?
That was pretty nice. If that was planned, that was a beautiful plan.
Absolutely. Execution is on point. A few of those boys will be getting big pats on the back. Just looking now at the Waikato rider, Kane Foster, talking to Lucas Byme and Nate Burness there. 3 very strong riders who have been dominant in the last few days.
So two under-17 Madisons, and everyone's still on the bikes and no incidents, and that's pretty outstanding. We were talking about the skill and the tactics earlier, and I think that's great to see at under-17 level. Obviously, a lot of work being done on Madison through the NTS series in the last couple of years through Tim Carswell and the other coaches sort of really dialing these kids in. So here's the final sprint on screen. 10 for Southland, 6 for Southland Blue, 4 for Auckland and 2 for Canterbury. So should be, yes it is, Auckland still hold on with 17 points. Southland getting up for second with that dominant last sprint, and Canterbury holding on for all their early work, and third with Waikato Bay Plenty fourth on 7. Southland Blue 6-day in Castelli, sort of all had a lap taken out of them, but you saw Southland Blue getting up for that nice last sprint. So
Exactly, and nothing to be embarrassed about losing a lap in that race. They started off hard there early, and then just really hanging on there towards the end.
it was it's great watching them. They just go for it, and certainly pretty cool things to come for the riders coming through from what I've seen this morning.
Yeah, some of the newer, younger riders in that field as well, riding in teams with riders they weren't perhaps used to riding with as well. So a bit of a disadvantage there over the centre teams that have probably spent a lot of time working on their changes and riding Madisons. I think we'll just go back to a couple of those Auckland changes where they're changing higher on the track. Do you think used to changing on the outdoor track and then coming in here with the bigger embankments, maybe just mixing things up a little bit, Ross?
Yeah, I think, they got the timing and the changes really well, the Auckland team, but just their positioning on the track, I think if they can just move that down the track a little bit lower, and that'll make it a little bit easier, and obviously teams won't have to dive underneath. But all in all, like I said, no incidents, safe racing, good timing, good for the future. And like I say, one of those races where it's got a bit of everything in Madison. It's got speed, it's got power, it's got technique and tactics. So awesome to see at that level to have two good clean races and aggressive and results coming down the last sprint.
Yeah, 4 days deep as well with a Madison for their fourth morning. Not to be underestimated that all the teams have kept it up right there and raced really hard at the same time. So well done to all riders. I bet there's some fatigued legs out there now. And
I think that concludes the racing, doesn't it, of the session? And good session it was. Nice session to be a part of, and some awards presentations to come. And then one more day for the under 15s and under 17s tomorrow. They'll be looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So got some team racing on tomorrow, Ross. We have team pursuits and team sprints as well. So going to be an interesting one. We've got a big day with 5 sessions. So won't run you through that one quite yet. Maybe before we shut down the broadcast this morning. But Ross, be some fatigue in the legs coming into tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always nice to leave the teams racing for the last day at Nationals, and bit of fun, the individual pressure's off, and they can just go into knocking it up with their teammates, and that's kind of what Nationals is all about really as well. So so Nate Burness getting a couple of victories this morning is obviously pretty impressive. So we've got some medal presentations to come to round out the morning, and then the next session starting at 2 o'clock. You've got the under 19 and the elite woman on this afternoon. The women's individual pursuit. And so you've got individual pursuits and points races, and you've got some sprints as well in there this afternoon coming up at 2 o'clock. So that'll be good. Bit of a mixture of sprint and endurance.
Do you think Bryony left anything in the tank yesterday? Do you think she's looking to go faster again today, or are we...
Oh, she's definitely looking to go faster. That's a good thing about B. She's never satisfied. And she'll be looking to go faster. I think there's possibly a second or so in the tank if she executes well. She had a difficult pass yesterday with Sammy, and she is likely to be having to do that again today, but with hopefully a better place and stuff. And Sammy will be looking to just knock a couple more seconds off that too, and start getting to the low 330s, which would be pretty awesome for her. So obviously, you've got a seasoned Olympian versus a young development rider with not much racing. So they'll just be going out there with their own goals in mind and trying to better their times from yesterday.
Exactly. You'll be watching eagerly, seeing who's kind of coming through for that team pursuit How well does the individual pursuit ability translate to riding in a team pursuit? Obviously, a little bit of a different dynamic.
Yeah, it is a different dynamic. I mean, it is a strong indicator for some aspects of the team pursuit, but certainly not everything. And you want riders for a team pursuit to be able to do a good 500 or kilo, or also sometimes a points race as well, to show their real endurance ability and that repeated kind of sprint. Team pursuit these days is just about doing 2 or 3 turns on the front, having a rest, and trying to come through. And each time you're on the front and go as fast as you can before you get a bit of a stint in the wheels again. So it has changed a little bit.
Yeah, so looking to kind of hit that real top end on the front, and then are they doing much recovering when they're in the wheels, or are they just looking to maintain, and then when they go again, kind of digging a little bit deeper and aiming to just have nothing left by the end?
Yeah, I guess if we break it into a kind of a percentage of energy sort of on the front there, they're putting out, if you call that their maximal across sort of 30 seconds or two laps or something, and then on the back you've got about, they're down to about 60% of that same power. So you're getting about 40% recovery in the wheels, and then when they hit the front, it's all about sort of holding that sustained high power, and we've gone down to a 2-turn format now. Used to be lapping off every lap, but now we sort of, each rider tries to do 2.5 laps on the front, depending where they are in line, which has changed the dynamic over the last few years, and also contributed to seeing the times evolve and get quicker and quicker as we go.
Exactly. Seeing such a fine line between staying on the front too long and not staying on the front long enough is obviously a sweet spot there. So finding that one, I imagine, is a pretty challenging one for the coaching staff. And seeing who's best suited to that as well. You guys have got a bit of a pool of riders to draw from, so choosing kind of who to develop and how to develop them, and mixing that in with obviously most of the riders doing a lot of road stuff as well can be quite challenging, I imagine. Yeah,
totally, and I think that's one of the challenges with this year. You've got a lot of the guys. Elite track team are already overseas racing on the road, so again, nice opportunity to bring some of the younger guys into camps and develop them and their skills and exactly what you're talking about. But with those opportunities overseas brings a great opportunity for development, and we're seeing that with the girls as well. So it'd be interesting tomorrow to see how the under-17s also tackle that team pursuit and see how they're getting their heads around it.
What did you think of the men's individual pursuit yesterday? Obviously, Tom Sexton setting a PB, riding really, really well. And Keegan Hornblow, did you expect that from him? That was obviously, he rode quite early on and that time stood really well.
Yeah, actually, I did expect that from Keegan, only because I've had the benefit of watching him in our training sessions over the last couple of months, coming in and doing some work with the development group, and he's probably the fastest improving rider that we've got at the moment, and good to see it, and I'll be interested to see how he goes again with the finals. Great ride by Tommy Two Guns, they call him, and he really pulled one out of the bag, so that was cool to see. But 15, 16 from a couple of guys was encouraging, and I thought Dan Bridgewater up in that time as well was pretty cool. Dan's a strong guy, and he's also fits into the team environment really well, so it'll be interesting to see if he can eke out another second or two later on today.
Yeah, another rider that's transitioned from a different sport. So Dan, I think, come from rowing, has he?
Yeah, he came from rowing and hasn't been cycling for too long, 2 or 3 years, so that's it's a reasonably quick transition to start putting out the times that he's doing now, and like I said, goes well in team pursuit efforts as well, so really interested to see if they can keep developing, and nice to see some of those younger guys sort of starting to do times that would be competitive at World Cups and things like that as well. So, whilst we've got our top guys away overseas with Corbin and Campbell and Gady, and nice to see some of these others going, pick me for the future sort of thing, or don't forget about me. So.
Yeah, and in our under-19s, Amelia Sykes, strong ride from her. Did you expect her to go any faster than that, or are you pretty happy with that?
Ladies
Just
and
wrapping up
gentlemen,
that
the
quick
award
chat, we'll just
ceremony
throw
for the
you down now to
2022
the
Track
infield
National
for the
Championships
awards
Under
presentation.
15 Girls Scratch Race will now take place. The medals will be presented by Graham Hunn from Cycling New Zealand. In third place and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Southland, Poppy McIver. In second place and the winner of the silver medal, also representing Southland, Emily Forsyth. In first place and the winner of the gold medal, and your 2022 Under 15 Girls Scratch Race National Champion, representing Canterbury, Shayla Sayers. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us and show your appreciation for the place getters in the Under 15 Girls Scratch Race National Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championship Under 15 Boys Scratch Race will now take place. The medals will once again be presented by Graham Hunn from Cycling New Zealand. In third place and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Waikato Bay of Plenty, Carter Payne. In second place and the winner of the silver medal, representing Mid-South Canterbury, Connor Toomey. And in first place, the winner of the gold medal and your 2022 Under 15 Boys Scratch Race National Champion, representing Auckland, David Kwan. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for our place getters in the Under 15 Boys Scratch Race National Championship. The award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championships Under 17 Girls Madison will now take place. I'd like to thank Graham Hunn from Cycling New Zealand for presenting these medals also. In third place and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Southland, Caitlin Kelly and Zadie Scott. In second place and the winner of the silver medal, representing Canterbury, Meg Baker and Kirsty Watts. And in first place and the winners of the gold medals and your 2022 Under 17 Girls Madison National Champions, representing Waikato Bay of Plenty, Kaylin Gray and Hannah Payne. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the place getters in the 2022 Under 17 Girls Madisons. Ladies and gentlemen, the awards presentation for the 2022 Track National Championships for Under 17 Boys Madison will now take place. Graham Hunn will once again present the medals representing Cycling New Zealand. In third place and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Canterbury, Lucas Sanders and Wolf Penne. In second place and the winners of the silver medal, representing Southland, Magnus Jameson and Frankie Thompson. In first place, and the winners of the gold medal, and your 2022 Under-17 Boys Madison National Champions, representing Auckland, Nate Bonus and Lucas Bymey. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us and show your appreciation for our place getters and our Under-17 Boys Madison podium winners.
Sweet, so that rounds us out for session 1 of day 4 at the New Zealand Track National Championships. Good morning of racing, eh Ross?
Yeah, awesome morning racing, and yeah, some good skills on display, and ripping into it attitude. So yeah, it was nice to be able to come in and get a bit of a taste of the under-15s and under-17s race, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how they go on the team stuff tomorrow, like we were saying before.
Absolutely, it's going to be great. So coming up at 2 p.m, a little bit earlier than yesterday, we have the second session. We have the women's, the under-19 and the elites have sprint qualifying, individual pursuit finals, scratch races, the sprints for the under-19 women's, Karen first rounds, just a real stacked schedule. Points race final in there for the women's elite as well, and an elimination for the women's under-19. So really stacked middle session for the day, Ross. Should be a good one. Yeah, looking forward to this one, and looking forward to finishing off with the point race as well. So point race for the women should be keenly contested. Obviously, B will be looking to throw down the gauntlet, see if she's got anything in the tank after the IP. But also looking forward to the elimination for the under-19. Absolutely, going to be some intense racing coming up. Thank you for joining us for the morning session here in Cambridge. We will be back shortly. Quick thank you to our sponsors. Supporters for the event are Skoda, Amber Garden Centre, and funding provided by the Trillion Trust. The Cycling NZ performance partners are Southern Spars, Cask, Lacole, Victoria and Didurit. Broadcast today was brought to you by Sky Sport Next and SBI Productions. Thank you from myself and Ross. See you later.